Welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me today. As always, got the D-Man here, and today's topic is going to be a continuation on courage. Courage is very important. I don't have my lighting right, so bear with me. Ever since I got the new desk, I can't seem to get things squared away, but persistence will prevail. And that's something about persistence. You have to have courage to be persistent. Because when you get knocked down over and over and over again, as life has a way of doing, to prove whether or not you really want what you want. Many people say they want something, they desire something, but do they really desire it? Or is it just a passing fantasy? Because if you really want something, you will persist and continue to press forward until you achieve whatever it is you truly desire. And if you don't truly desire it, once you get knocked back a couple times, or you fail a few times, excuse me, or you're disappointed a few times, you'll give up because you don't really want it. You thought you wanted it, but you don't really want it. If you really desire something, it will stay in the forefront of your mind until you achieve it. You will find a way to achieve it. The reality is you don't really have to find a way. If you consider that you want this thing with all your heart and your soul, and you see yourself as having it, picture yourself as being the person that has this thing, there will be ways and bridges of incidences and opportunities open up to you that were always there, but you couldn't see them. I always relate it back to the deal, you buy a red car, a red Impala. You didn't see any red Impalas before, but once you bought the red Impala, you see them everywhere. Did they just all of a sudden appear out of nowhere? Or were they always there? They were always there. You just didn't see them because they weren't in your field of preference, so to speak. You weren't aware of them because you didn't care about them. They weren't important to you. Your subconscious mind takes in everything that has ever happened to you that you've ever perceived through your five senses. Regardless of if you are consciously aware of it, it's all in there. So you were seeing those red cars before, those red Impalas, but you weren't consciously aware of it because it wasn't important to you. Now you have a red Impala. It's important to you. You are an owner of one. It is in your field of experience. You've experienced it in this outer reality. Now all of a sudden you see them everywhere. They were always there. Just like the opportunities for you to achieve or be or succeed or whatever in whatever way you want to do in life. They're out there. But until you set a goal and have a vision and a purpose and have the courage to act as if, to feel as if, to assume that you already have that success, you will never achieve it. Now that takes courage because you're going to go against your five senses. You must deny the evidence of the senses and assume your wish fulfilled. Now how do you do that? Well, affirmations are good. Sure, it sounds like bullcrap when you first start telling yourself that. For example, let's say you want to be a multimillionaire. You say, I am a multimillionaire. I am a multimillionaire. And you don't have enough money to pay the electric bill this month. Okay. The fact that you don't have enough money to pay your electric bill is evidence of the senses. You have to deny that. You don't think about that. You think about what you desire. But it's best, instead of setting something like a goal to be a multimillionaire, if you've been very poor or you've never had any kind of success, you may want to set it at $10,000 or $50,000 or $5,000, whatever you're used to, because you have to have the consciousness to accept this. Now you think that if you got, let's say, $10 million, you would be okay with that. Unless your consciousness is to the level of a man or woman that has $10 million, you will not maintain it long. Because you must be the person first before you can maintain that. You may achieve it, you may get it, but look at many of the star athletes in the world that have achieved a success in a rapid way. Their consciousness was not at the level of the success or the financial income that they were receiving, and a lot of them went out and got into drugs, got into trouble, ended up in jail, lost everything they had because they were not prepared. You say you want this success, whatever it may be, you have to have the character, the consciousness, the ability to handle it. And this takes courage. You know where the courage comes in? You've got to have the courage to go through the trials, through the fiery furnace, to strengthen your character, so when you achieve this success, this notoriety, this power, whatever it is you desire, you will not misuse it. You will not destroy yourself with it. You will not sabotage yourself with it. And these trials and tribulations and problems and situations you'll go through, some of them will seem like they have nothing to do with your desired goal, your vision, your end result, what you want to be. But it takes all of these things to get you to that point, to get you to where you want to be. And remember, the goal is not the whole focus of life. You must keep your eyes on the goal, on the vision, on your purpose when things get rough out there, when things seem to be going to hell, when you're losing everything, when maybe you're faced with jail, when you're faced with bankruptcy. I've been faced with all those things, but I kept pressing forward, okay? I wanted a family with 15 kids. Well, I have 8 kids. I'm not married, haven't been for 10 years, but I have my family. I have 5 boys and a daughter here with me. I have 2 other daughters, and my daughter has a daughter. Okay, all these things I desired a long time ago, and I had a vision for that. Now, it didn't play out exactly how I thought it should play out, but where I sit right now, I would not change a thing. Now, during the time I was going through these divorces, it was very difficult, very painful. When I built a couple houses. I remodeled a couple old houses. I had a bed and breakfast. I had an Airbnb, and I lost all that. I lost my painting company for a while that I established in '85. I had to leave the country. All these things seemed terrible. But as I said, looking back from sitting where I am now, I wouldn't change a thing, because it took all of that to mold my character, to make me into the person where I can handle raising 6 kids by myself, where I can handle running my business by myself, where I can handle doing these YouTube videos every day and starting this new business, where I can handle, or where I had the ability and the character and needed to become, or that made me the type of person that I could publish a book. I have another book that's going to be published in May. I'm writing another book. All these things I wouldn't have done had I not went through these seemingly terrible things, which required courage. And looking back, I don't really feel like I was courageous going through it. I just felt like I was trying to survive. Yes, I guess I could have given up, but I don't understand, what does that mean to give up? I mean, what are the alternatives? How do you give up? I mean, you just quit on your dreams? Yeah, there was times when I thought there's no way I'm ever going to achieve what I desire, because I didn't see how it was going to happen. But I kept it in my mind that I had to be something more, that I wanted to be something more than what I was, that there had to be more in life for me than this. And that kept me moving forward. There were times when I just thought, why am I even living? What's the point? When I had all my 6 kids taken away from me, and I had to leave them in Latin America, not knowing whether I would ever see them again, do you think I felt like I would ever be happy or successful or or accomplish what I've accomplished today? No. I didn't even want to take a shower, man. I did, but I didn't want to. I didn't feel like doing anything. I came back. I was living with my parents because I was taking care of my father. I was 49 years old, I think at the time, 50. I had no hope whatsoever. I couldn't do anything because I had to take care of my father, so I couldn't restart my painting company. It seemed pretty dismal, but I did what was in front of me, and what was in front of me was to take care of my father, and that took courage. I didn't feel very courageous at the time. I felt like a loser. I felt like defeated. I had nothing. I had some debt. I owed some people some money, but that's all I had. No income, and just get up every day, get my dad up, do the things throughout the day that he needed to take care of him, and get his medicines, feed him, and the things we have to do if we're taking care of our parents and they can't take care of themselves anymore. That was an honor. I'm glad I was able to do that for 4 years. And I was able to do the same thing with my mother, and they both passed in my home. That was a dream of mine also. Never realized that until I looked back and thought, that was something else that was really close to my heart that I really wanted. Because I saw my mother die, my grandmother die in a nursing home, and I couldn't do anything about it because that was my grandfather's say. But I could do something about my parents. I did not want them to have to die or spend time in the nursing home. And I was able to give them exactly what I wanted, and they wanted to die at home too. They both passed peacefully in their home. And that is something that it's really hard to explain, but it actually built my character to care for them and to see that dream of mine come to pass, to be able to do that for them, to be able to give back to them, because I could never give back to them what they've given to me. There were many times in my life when I thought my dad was so hard. He was hard. He was a World War II veteran and a Korean War veteran. He never spoke about it much. I didn't see much from my father in my younger years except anger and a lot of whoopings. But looking back, that was exactly what I needed to become the man I am today. And I like who I am today. I like where I'm going today. My kids like me. My life is great. That doesn't mean I don't have challenges every day. We all have challenges, and you will continue to do so. But you can face these challenges with courage. You may not feel very courageous, but if you get up and you just take another step towards your goal, even if it looks like it's never going to happen, you will get there. Just get up and take one more step. Don't worry about the how. You know what's in front of you. You know what to do. Step in that direction and trust and believe in God, divinity, your higher power, your higher self. Trust that it will come to pass, and it will if you don't stop. Just get back up one more time, even when life has knocked you down. You see these people that are really successful, Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, some of these high-profile people, you see their success. You don't see what they had to go through to get there. You may not want their success if you too had to go through the challenges they had to go through to get to where they are today. So remember that. And your life is your life. Don't compare yourself to anyone. You've got your own vision, your own place in this world, your own greatness, the thing that you and only you alone can do. So do it. Smash that like button, subscribe. I hope this has been of help to you. Share with a friend, and I'll see you tomorrow.